In this video, we're going to be learning how you can master the graph editor in After Effects to improve your animations, as well as sharing with you some techniques that you can use to stand out from other editors in the editing space. So yeah, let's get right into it. So here we have two shape layers moving back and forth, and the animation is done by making position keyframes. So first of all, we need to learn the difference between the speed graph and the value graph. And to do that, what I'm going to do is select all of them and easy ease them. And here, I'm going to select the first shape layer, and I'm going to go into the graph editor. And here we have the speed graph. So the speed graph is basically the speed of the object over time, and the influence here shows the intensity of the graph, right? So I'm going to adjust it so the handles are more towards the center. So we have a smooth peak at the top, and similar to here as well, right? So what is happening here is the object starts slow, then speeds up, and then slows down again, right? And I'm going to go into the next shape layer. And here, instead of the speed graph, we're going to use the value graph. So here, I'm going to do the same thing. Move the handles toward the center. Something like this. And if you hold Shift, you can lock the horizontal axis so the value graph doesn't move on the vertical axis. So something like this. And as you can see, the shape speeds up where the graph is steepest. So the steepness will show the speed, or the increase of the acceleration. So as you can see here, the value graph is a bit more sensitive, right? So you can make a lot of exaggerated animations. And to show the effect more, what I'm going to do is change the graph a little bit. So I'm going to make it peak toward the left here. And here I'm going to make it peak toward the right, so it slows down in the middle. And then at the end speeds up, something like this, right? And in the value graph, I'm going to do the same thing. But what I'm going to do here is put this handle on a vertical axis and this handle on a horizontal axis. So make the graph like this. So both graphs are now at a peak, right? And now if I see the animation, as you can see, the value graph is much more sensitive and it is much more exaggerated, right? And now we're going to move forward to showing you where you can use these graphs, right? So the speed graph has a specific usage, and the value graph also has specific uses. So here we have a simple animation where the cursor is moving from one player to another. And again, we have linear position keyframes. So we're going to easy ease them. And I'm going to go into the graph. So this is the usage of the speed graph. And this is used to make smooth animations, right? You see all the UI animations and the smooth camera animations. It's mainly built by using the speed graph. So make sure the peak is at the center. So we have a smooth animation. And if I play this, as you can see, the animation of the cursor is very smooth now. Okay, now what I'm going to do is copy the ease of the position keyframes. So select them and copy the ease. This is a plugin that I use. I think it's a paid plugin. So you can copy the graph and paste the graph on the rotation. So if I go into the graph editor, as you can see, the rotation also now has the same graph as the position. And this is a really compulsory plugin that I have. Okay. Now what we are going to do is connect all the shape layers and the solid to this layer. And this layer is basically a simple camera animation where the camera is following the cursor. But right now it looks very weird. So to fix that, I'm going to select the keyframes, easy ease them. And in the graph editor, I'm also going to make the peak toward the center, right? And similarly to the other layer as well, make the peak toward the center. Now, because this graph is not that sensitive, we can actually have the animation really smooth. We don't want exaggerated motion with this. So as you can see, the animation is really smooth now. So the value graph is mainly used where the motion needs to be really exaggerated. For example, this match cut transition right now looks really stiff, right? But what we're going to do is select the null layer, the position null layer where the camera is moving up. Go into the value graph. And here, as you can see, it doesn't allow me to use the handles. And in the speed graph, it is normal. It works, right? So this happens because we need to separate the dimensions of the position to X and Y, as you can see here. And we don't need the X position, we only need the Y. So easy ease that. And if I go into the value graph, as you can see, if I select the graph now, the handles appear. So make sure you separate the dimensions. And for the graph, I'm going to make it really peak toward the left, toward the right. So it starts slow and then speeds up. And then again, I'm going to copy this and paste it to the shape layer as well. So as you can see, we have done half of the transition. And on the second layer, I'm going to do the exact same thing. Separate the dimensions, delete the X position, and the peak is going to be on the leftmost side. So the peak is going to be opposite. And again, I'm going to copy the ease and paste it on the position of the shape layer. And as you can see, now we have this really smooth and clean transition. Okay, so another usage of the value graph is to make hyper-focused animation. So as you can see, the cursor moves up here with the position keyframe, and there's another layer which zooms in the whole scene. So here, I'm going to select the keyframes from the null layer and go into the value graph. And here, I'm going to drag the handle toward the left, toward the right side. And the top handle will be moved toward the left side. So the ball starts slow, and then it really picks up some acceleration, and then slows down. So the graph is really sharp. And now, if I play the animation, as you can see, the animation still is smooth, but we have that really hyper focus. And I use this technique to make the user focus on a really specific object. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a specific characteristic which mainly belongs to the speed graph. So here we have a ball rotating in a circle, and the problem right now is the ball stops at this keyframe. As you can see, the ball stops, and then it again stops at the end. What if we don't want the ball to stop, right? What if we want smooth motion? So to do that, first I'm going to make the graph a bit more eased. So peek toward the center like this. And as you can see, the motion is much smoother. But again, the ball stops. We don't want that. We want continuous motion. So to do that, I'm going to select this middle keyframe. Go to keyframe velocity and click continuous. So basically now what we can do is drag this keyframe up. So this is the point where the value of the position is 0, and here the value is not 0. So the ball never stops. And if I play the animation here, as you can see at the center, the ball is now not stopping because the value of the position is not 0. So we can do this to the end point as well, if we don't want the stop to be at the end as well. So as you can see, the animation is completely continuous. It is not stopping whatsoever. And I mainly use this technique to make my animations as seamless and natural as possible. Okay, so for the last part, I'm going to show you a characteristic which mainly belongs to the value graph. So here we have a simple bouncing animation. As you can see, the ball just moves up and down. But what if we want a natural fall off under the influence of gravity? So I'm going to select all of these keyframes, easy ease them, and make sure we're in the value graph for this. And I'm going to adjust the graph. So it has a little bit of a peak at the start. So it starts fast and then slows down at the highest point. So like right here. And then again, it accelerates down. So the peak is going to be a bit more towards the end. So here, like this. And just repeat the keyframe graphs. So the graph for the full animation looks something like this. And if I play the animation, as you can see, we have a natural bouncing animation. But we want the ball to lose its height. Right now, the height is maintained. So to do that, I'm going to highlight all of these graphs. So just select all of these graphs. And at this point, hold Alt, Option, or Control and just drag it down. So basically, just skew the graph. And now the position value decreases over time, and it decreases naturally. And in the speed graph, as you can see, it is a complete mess. We really do not want to use this graph for this. So if I play the animation now, as you can see, the ball is losing its height over time, and it looks very natural. It's going to take a lot of time and effort if you do this manually. So if you have learned something from this tutorial, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Also, if you want a breakdown on how I made this animation, make sure to drop a comment below, and I'll do a tutorial on this.